Welcome to Coffee with Carrie. Appreciate you stopping by. I want you to attract women. Today we are talking to the fellas how to get through a first date. This isn't an episode just about confidence or me telling you how to be confident. I have lots of episodes about becoming more confident, faking confident, things to do to make you more confident. This is not one of them. There are definitely going to be some tips here where confidence helps, and the things you need to do come naturally to people with confidence. But it isn't about confidence. There are literally things that you can do to attract a woman and to get a date and get through it so that you get a second date. If that's at all intriguing, I hope you'll stick around. That is what's on the agenda. Number one, this isn't about confidence, but it's about not acting like you don't have confidence. Does that make sense? If you do things on purpose, actually have intention, then there's no way that nerves can come into play and make you look like you're lacking confidence. And I think that's where the confidence thing comes in. Be purposeful, be assertive, and ask for what you want, which is her number. Instead of saying, maybe we could get together sometime, you say, you seem great. I'd love to get together sometime. Here's my phone. Give me your number. I'd love to call you. Having an intention, having purpose, and being forthright about it is what confident people do. When you do that, you don't look not confident. That's what I was trying to say. So that's the way to get somebody's phone number, with intention and purpose. Number two, you plan the date. This is not the time to start giving away your power and asking if there's some place she wants to go or if she has recommendations or a favorite place or what's around her. Take it upon yourself to choose the place you're going and let her know. Again, that is what a confident person does. That is what you will do. So you're not going to ask for her opinion in this matter because there's plenty of years of the two of you going back and forth about where you're going to eat or where you're going to go once you're married. In this situation, you're going to choose and you're going to pick a place that you can afford. Could be somewhere free, but it must be within your budget because of number three. Number three, pay for the date. Yes, it's perfectly acceptable for people to go Dutch and pay their own way or Venmo their half of the whatever it was, the mini golf, the bowling, the drinks or whatever, breakfast, brunch. After the date, you can ask somebody for their email and pay your own way. But if you want a second date, if you like this person and you want to see them again, and that's key, pay for the date. It'll come back. You'll even it all out in the long run once you've been dating for a while. She's not going to expect you to pay for everything all the time. You'll take turns once you're dating. Women love when a guy takes the lead and chooses to pay for the date. It's very generous. It's very old school. It's very gentlemanlike. This is the day of the first date. The first thing you're going to do when you come together is you're going to greet one another. And I think it's important that you don't be wishy-washy. Are we going to shake hands? Are we going to hug? Are we going to kiss? Know ahead of time that your intention is to hug. Shaking hands is too formal. Leaning in for a kiss is too early. But a hug is always welcome from someone with whom you've accepted a date. So confidently go in for the hug. Be big in your actions so it's apparent which direction your head's going to go, and now you've greeted each other. The next thing is that you want to be assured in this place that you're going. So if that requires you checking this place out ahead of time, by all means do that. If you get rattled by new places or things being unfamiliar to you, there's a way around that. Get used to the place, become familiar with it, even if that requires you to do a dry run, a drive-by, a park in front, run in to see what the place looks like. How long do people typically take to do this activity, whatever it is? You can make a special trip and check out how things work in there, where things are, where's the ladies' room so you can tell her where it is when she needs to go. Scope it out so that you can walk in and feel comfortable in your surroundings and be able to take action and lead her through whatever these steps are to what you're going to be doing together. So being familiar so that you can be comfortable in your surroundings is key. Next up, I cannot tell you how much this self-assuredness, this preparedness will go in both you feeling confident and her feeling comfortable. It convinces a woman that you can handle things, and women love that. I just had people list their top 3 priorities of what they're looking for in a partner in a recent episode. And some of the women mentioned it there, that one of their top 3 things that they want, even in the top 3, which is not usually where this falls, but for some people it is, they want somebody who can handle situations, who's a take charge kind of person, because it allows them to relax and feel comfortable, cared for, and safe, which is always important to women, that they feel safe. And you being self-assured in situations and comfortable with your surroundings makes her feel that way. I just think back to traveling and being in an airport with my man years ago. At the time, I didn't travel often, so I remember being a little unsure of myself, going, oh, which area do we have to go to? Is like this, because our airline is here, is this the way we have to go through this line or that, over to that side? And I loved the fact that he just came in, he grabbed my hand, had my bag, and he just led the way. And I felt like, oh, I could take a sigh of relief here because I didn't have to even think about it. He had it all under control, and I felt very cared for in that moment. And it was one of the things I fell for. I loved the fact that I always felt safe and like he knew what was going on, so I could relax and not worry about anything. Even more so if she's shared with you that she suffers from anxiety, make sure that you take the extra steps to prepare so that you can be the thing that makes her feel safe and that she can hang back and let you handle stuff. That will take you a long way towards forming some type of a connection with her. Next up, we should have mentioned this earlier when you were still at home, but you should be looking nice and smelling nice and going an extra step in effort. Not over the top, but you want to look like yourself. You want to look comfortable. You want to smell clean, and you want to have nice looking hands and shoes. Lots of episodes about all this, but don't forget how you look, how you smell, and your grooming, because those do matter. Have a whole episode. I'll link to it at the end, but it's what women like men to wear. It's the things that women find sexy when a guy wears those. So maybe check that episode out next. Not just good grooming, but good manners. Women talk about it all the time. So to get to that next date, you have to exhibit manners that are perfection. And it's easy because you're a well-mannered person, and all you have to do is be kind and thoughtful most of the time. Speak well to people who are there to assist you. Your waiter, if you're having breakfast, your person who gives you your bowling shoes, whatever this looks like on your date, the other people you encounter, you should be kind to them. You should be thoughtful, thinking about what she might need. If you pay attention and notice that her coffee cup is almost empty at breakfast and you just had your plate set down, then you can ask her, do you want me to get you some more coffee? And you can signal to take care of that and have her cup refreshed. Things of that nature, paying attention, being a gentleman, and being thoughtful and good-mannered are what women are looking for when they're looking for a second date with somebody. Those are the things that count for us. And of course, the conversation should also keep this in mind, that you want to be interested and thoughtful, listening to what she says, and isn't it good manners to ask more questions? Hey, it's Carrie interrupting my own episode with a very brief commercial for you. I just wanted to let you know that I created a new free guide. Hope you got the one about meeting people in the wild, how to meet people organically out there in the real world. But this new one is 33 questions, great questions for dating, for a first date, second date, as you get to know somebody over the first few months. 33 of them. They're really cool, so you can pick and choose. Make sure that you grab that guide. The link is down in my description box. And let's get back to the episode. What she says, and isn't it good manners to ask more questions of what she shared with you and to be a good listener? Those are manners. And then the date's over. How do you say goodbye? That's always a tough one for a lot of people. I want you to kiss her goodbye when you part ways. A hug would be fine, though, if that's what she seems amenable to. If this went well and you want to see this person again and you're attracted to her, then your first inclination should be, I'd like to give her a nice, quick kiss goodbye when we leave. That's appropriate for a first date. Not really hoping to hug goodbye or the handshake, but even in the era of Me Too, you do not have to ask to kiss. However, you do need to be reading the signals and looking for the signs that she's open to that she's amenable to a kiss goodbye. So looking at her face, is she leaning in towards you? Is she tipping her head up or down to you? Is she giving you signals that she wants to kiss you also? Watch for that. And if you go in and she's like, oh, that's fine, you're like, oh, okay. And you just give her a hug and act like it's perfectly normal. If she's kind of keeping her distance or her body language is a little bit stiffer and not very relaxed and open and forward facing to you, then a hug is perfectly acceptable. Lots of people hug after a first date or a second date. But I think first in your mind should be to watch for the opportunity and her willingness to give you a kiss goodbye, a quick peck, not a grandma kiss, but not a making out kiss that you can just give a nice kiss. Well, I'll find one for you. Put it right here. You should want something like that after a date if it went really well and there's attraction going both ways. And you have to be paying attention to her body language, to her signals, to her micro expressions. I have an episode about that as well, and I will link to it at the end of this episode, which is now. I hope you found that interesting and helpful. If you did, please, that's my mom. And she said, please give my daughter a thumbs up if you have just a moment to do so. And I'd appreciate that. Please subscribe to the channel for more conversations about dating and relating. And if you hit that ring bell, then you're notified every time a new episode goes live. And I'd look forward to that. Until next time, thanks again and have a good one.